In the winter of 1942, a supply depot in the United States military logistics chain ran out of something it had never expected to lose. It wasn't ammunition, it wasn't fuel. It was a fine, pale yellow powder made from the crushed heads of a flower, in continuous military use since roughly 400 BC. For centuries, armies had relied on it against an enemy that killed more soldiers than bullets in some campaigns: mosquitoes and the diseases they carried. In 1901, America used it to clear an entire city of yellow fever. America's supplier was Japan. In 1942, Japan became America's enemy, and the powder vanished from the military supply chain almost overnight. What happened next left a trail that runs through a 1904 requisition order for 120 tons of these flower heads a month, the chemistry hidden inside them. A $3.5 billion industry built to copy them. A method you can still make for about $2 this season, and the mistakes you can make while using this method. In 1901, a U.S. Army surgeon named William Crawford Gorgas divided Havana into 20 sanitation districts and went to work. The work, preventing death from yellow fever. When yellow fever cases appeared in a district, he ordered the room sealed and pyrethrum powder burned inside until every adult mosquito was dead. Then the room ventilated, and operations moved to the next district. The powder came from the ground flower heads of the Dalmatian chrysanthemum, Tanacetum cinerariifolium, 6 active natural pyrethrins, documented by the National Pesticide Information Center at Oregon State University and studied in depth by Casita and Quistad at Oxford. Attack the insect nervous system on contact and knock it down in minutes. Pyrethrin 1 and 2 account for 68% of the insecticidal activity. At lower concentrations, the same compounds repel rather than kill. Mammalian toxicity is low enough that the EPA approves pyrethrum for certified organic agriculture, a standard that synthetic pyrethroids cannot meet. Havana's yellow fever deaths fell from an annual average of 462 to tens of fatalities by late 1901. The last recorded death was September of that year. Cuba had no recorded yellow fever cases by January 1903, but his work was not finished. There was still Panama. France had tried to build the Panama Canal for 22 years before abandoning it. Yellow fever killed more workers than any flood or engineering failure, an estimated 22,000 dead. Their doctors bled patients and cleaned latrines. They did not address the mosquito. Gorgas took the same method to Panama: monthly requisition. 120 tons of pyrethrum powder, 300 tons of sulfur, 600,000 gallons of oil, 4,000 workers. Cases of yellow fever fell from 62 in June 1905 to a single case that December. No outbreaks in 1906. The canal opened in 1914. The compound was not new. Records trace it to roughly 400 BC. Napoleon's army carried it in lice powder a century before Gorgas. The formula was unchanged: ground flower heads, open flame, sealed space. Mosquitoes have never developed resistance to it. What happened to its use in the United States is a different story. 75. That was the number of patents the U.S. government had filed between 1938 and 1941 alone. They covered 1,400 synthetic and natural substances tested as alternatives to pyrethrum. None were ready to deploy. When Japan entered the war in December 1941, America's supply closed overnight. Military medical officers understood what that meant. Louse-borne typhus had historically killed more soldiers than combat. Malaria and dengue moved through every theater. Pyrethrum was the line holding all of that. By late 1942, the military had a choice: wait for a supply the war had cut off, or field a synthetic that a Swiss chemist had confirmed was effective. They chose the synthetic. DDT lasted longer in the field and replaced pyrethrum in the standard lice powder by the end of 1942. First large field test, Naples, winter of 1943. When the war ended, Japan's chrysanthemum industry never recovered its pre-war scale. DDT was embedded in logistics chains across 4 continents. Pyrethrum, proven at Panama and issued to generations of American soldiers, did not come back. The government's Orlando laboratory screened 40,000 chemicals to find a replacement. By 1946, they had DEET. Civilian use didn't begin until 1957. 11 years and 40,000 compounds to replace something that had been working since 400 BC. But the story of what came next isn't about better chemistry. It's about a different kind of market. Michael Elliott synthesized permethrin at Rothamsted Experimental Station in England in 1973. The EPA registered it in 1979. A copy of a natural compound, modified in one aspect. The natural compound breaks down under ultraviolet light within days. Spray it Monday, substantially gone by Thursday. That is not a flaw. It is how the compound has worked for over 400 years. Elliott's permethrin was re-engineered to not do that. The synthetics that followed, cypermethrin, deltamethrin, bifenthrin, were the same, each modified for persistence rather than breakdown. That single modification built a commercial market. A product that degrades in days requires repeated application. A product that persists for weeks, supports a 6-visit seasonal contract at $60 or more per visit. The natural compound cannot be patented. The synthetics could be. The copy is worth $3.5 billion. The original, $1.3 billion. Nearly 3 times the size of the thing it was copied from. And that copy ends up in a bottle on a shelf at your local garden center, with a label that tells the rest. Pick up the permethrin bottle. The label says, "Warning. Deltamethrin, the pyrethroid in many residential spray contracts, carries a classification as a suspected endocrine disruptor. The European Food Safety Authority reviewed cypermethrin, another compound in the same family, and found it could not identify any safe use under realistic conditions." In December 2025, the Court of Justice of the European Union ruled the Commission had acted unlawfully in reapproving it. The same compound is still licensed for residential use in the United States. For bees, researchers from Penn State and the USDA found pyrethroid residues in 312 of 340 hive wax samples. The average concentration was more than 64,000 times higher than the synthetic compounds that triggered international restrictions. The chemicals accumulate in the wax. The problem does not end when the spray dries. The label lists the risks. The contract model depends on repeat visits, but there is a way to break that cycle. You can start it on a back porch, a balcony, a windowsill with good light, and by midsummer, it flowers. That plant is the same one used since roughly 400 BC, the same one Napoleon's army carried, the same one Gorgas ordered at 120 tons a month. When the flower heads reach full bloom, harvest them. Spread them on a screen to dry for a week, then grind them to powder, mix with water and a drop of dish soap. What you have is the same compound that cleared yellow fever from Havana. Seeds cost a few dollars at most garden centers. Ready-made pyrethrum concentrate runs $10 to $15, certified organic by the EPA. 2 rules. Apply at dusk. Bees are in the hive, mosquitoes are active, and never spray near water. Pyrethrum is lethal to fish and aquatic organisms. It degrades within days, but the window of application matters.